James, the retired banker here. I want to play you a video that's going viral apparently on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but I learned of this video on Twitter. Pennsylvania critical care nurses video goes viral on TikTok for calling out how hard-working Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, America has had people living paycheck to paycheck forever. Things have been tough before. But listen to her story. This is not just a working class person. She's a working class person, but you would consider her a professional. She's working toward a doctorate or a PhD. She's a healthcare professional. Her husband works as well. They're homeowners. They're not deadbeats, and they're not living above their means. This is a 5-minute video. I'm not going to play the whole thing for you. Just some parts that I think are going to that really hit home for a lot of Americans right now.
I don't know why I'm making this video, but like I feel like my husband and I are doing everything right. We both have good jobs. I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I work full-time. He works full-time. We just got paid this past Friday, right? We paid the mortgage. Bought some groceries. Put some gas in the car. And guys, it is Tuesday. And we have like $200 or $300 to last us until next Friday.
We used to call that too much month at the end of the money. Now, she's a nurse. Her husband has a good job. They work full time. Maybe they're in a lot of debt. Maybe they're just spending more than they're making. Maybe they're deadbeats. Well, listen to what she has to say next, and you be the judge of that.
Like, we don't live in a big house. We live in a little ranch. It's 1,100 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, us and our 2 kids. And like, I don't know what to do.
She doesn't know what to do. By the way, that's not my washer or my dryer. That's not my phone buzzing. That's in the source video. So who is this lady? What do you think? She has a mortgage. She's working hard. Her husband's working hard as well. She's doing what she was told to do.
Like, I'm in school full time. I work full time. He works more than full time. He works overtime every week. I don't know what to do. I'm so stressed out. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Growing up, we were told, go to college, get a degree, work to support your family. Here we are. Did that. Now what? Now what?
Now, we hear this a lot. People complaining about, I went to college, I got a degree, and I can't get a job. And not to be critical of people, but if you get a degree in underwater basket weaving, maybe some sort of, fill in the blank studies, that doesn't really prepare you for a job or a career, that's ridiculous. But this woman is a nurse. And she bought into the American dream. And it has become not American nightmare. I'm not gonna go there, but it's become a challenge. I can totally relate to this. I was in a position as a professional. I had moved to Los Angeles, had a job, but I was a bit different in that we were one house, we were one income. I was working, moved to Los Angeles, and my wife, 2 kids, had a degree, and things were tight. And I was making good money as a professional, but I just the sticker shock of moving to Los Angeles was just overwhelming. But these are two incomes here. Two incomes. And she's going to school to get an advanced degree, and she just feels so tight. Maybe you're experiencing this. Maybe you know people who are experiencing this. Why is this happening to her? Well, the Daily Mail did an article on her. Full-time nurse and mom breaks down in tears as she opens up about about bitter financial struggles, revealing her family is forced to live paycheck to paycheck. Her name is Makenzie Moan from Pennsylvania. She's a nurse. She's studying for her PhD. Part of the frustration is she's not some lazy deadbeat. She is working to do what she's supposed to do. For her and her husband are working to provide for their children. And now this video has gone viral. And there is Makenzie Moan with her beautiful family, her two boys, and her hardworking husband, Steve. What is going on here? Well, one thing that's happening is she's being crushed by the hidden tax of inflation.
Suppose you have a bunch of people, and these people buy things. They buy things from Walmart, from McDonald's and Ford, and in buying these things, they give these businesses money. In return, they receive goods and services from these businesses. The ratio of the dollars they pay to the goods and services they receive, we call prices. So we have the average price of a hamburger, the average price of a pair of shoes, the average price of a car. Now, if the government were to print enough money to double the money supply, we would have twice as many dollar bills floating around, but the same amount of goods and services. All that would happen is the prices of these goods and services themselves would double. So with twice as many dollar bills, a hamburger now goes from a price of $4 to a price of $8. The car goes from $30,000 to a price of $60,000. And one of the prices that will double is people's wages.
And that's the rub. Prices of everything have gone up, but wages have not increased to keep up with that. So this nurse and her husband, Steve, may have gotten some wage increases from the hospital she works out of the clinic. Steve on his job, plus he's working overtime to make more money. But the price increase of everything has gone up more than the wages they're making. And that is that hidden tax of inflation. Why aren't wages going up? Well, there's lots of reasons, depending on where you're at and what industry you're working in. You may have competition from migrants in your industry that are pushing down wages. You may be in an industry where it's a variety of supply and demand. There is a lot of supply of workers in your field. You're not in high demand because there's plenty of people in that labor pool. And so there's not competition to drive up the wages. And of course, we know that fuel prices have gone up. America is no longer energy independent. So when you have fuel prices go up, well, that drives up the cost of all physical goods because they have to be transported and it costs more to transport them. The machinery that runs on fossil fuels and diesel, all of that goes up. So that is a cost to produce goods goes up. The cost to transport those goods go up, but your wages are not. And that's one of the reasons why on this channel I'm going to talk, I've already made some videos on why it's important to just not depend on the income you make from your job, but to have a side hustle, a side business, some other form of income in addition to your W-2 job income, so that even though your wage is not going up, you have something to bolster and to buoy up your purchase price, your purchasing power that you're losing because inflation is going up, but wages are not. That is why, unfortunately, this nurse, Miss Moan, and her husband, Steve, and their children, and many Americans are suffering. Prices are going up, but their wages are not. And the money they have in savings, if they have any, has lost its purchasing power. Because let's say you have $10,000 in savings, well, that $10,000 last year could buy $10,000 worth of goods. But now that same $10,000 that you have in savings can only buy $8,000 worth of goods when you compare it to last year. You're losing your purchasing power. And those two things combined, unfortunately, are a hard pill to swallow.